everybody. I want to introduce you to someone really special. She's a colleague, she's a friend, she's coached me a couple of times, and I just kind of super dig her. So I wanted to share her with you. Is the beautiful Renee Zukin. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. So she is an author, an educator, a coach, and an advocate for doing the inner work to see the outer change and people, especially people diagnosed with mental health disorders, right? And she's been working a long time and she's releasing a book that I think you're going to want to run to the store and buy. It's called Every Day I'm Brave. And I have spent time with this beautiful woman and all of her wisdom and all of her luscious, yummy spirit that she brings through in this book. And it's such an important thing for women right now with what's happening geopolitically, what's happening in the United States, what's happening around the world, where there's so much uncertainty and chaos and shifting sands. I was talking to one of my best friends this morning, and she lives in a very ritzy neighborhood in Montecito, Santa Barbara, and ICE is in their neighborhood taking people. And this is not a neighborhood where you would expect they would be taking people. And so to just think about the reality of the presence of fear. And I know that's really what this is about and how we live with that. And I love what you said about how to live at peace in your own life when chaos is right outside your door. So what prompted you to write this book?
Great question. And thank you so much, Julie, for allowing me to be here, for connecting. I always love being in your spaces. You have such wisdom, and I am just really thrilled to be able to give people a sense of hope
Yeah.
right now, that there is the possibility of still finding that inner peace, still feeling grounded, and like doing the work out there that we need to do to, combat this like ever growing fear that is permeating the lives of everybody in one way or another.
Yeah.
And so for me, this book was really a lot about the fear inside and the way in which, our environments, our upbringing, our genetics can really influence the way that fear shows up for us. And it, can be in a diagnosis, it can be just in the general stressors of life, it can be, a particular phobia or PTSD. And whatever that is for you or for, anybody out there, there is this sense of, how can I not just get rid of the fear, get rid of my anxiety,
Right.
rid of,
Right.
I have a few different diagnoses myself, right? And the diagnoses don't define me. But how do I allow fear to be present?
Mm.
Because it has a role, but not let it continue to call the shots. And that's where that bravery really comes in. And that's really I wrote the book. Not only was writing it itself even another level of healing for me personally, but I wanted to really show up in service for folks who are out there just, not really sure how this is going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I love that. I think it's so timely because, as working with women around their businesses and around their relationship with money is really where my expertise is. I studied money my entire life and a woman's relationship to it and my relationship to it, right? And so I see in this moment with what's happening in the United States and geopolitically and these like kind of living at the edge of martial law kind of a thing where women specifically can potentially slip backwards into the habitual and the training around being silent, around financial insufficiency, around a society and an economy, especially in the US, it's gotten burnt out on digital marketing, tired of broken promises, doesn't want to buy another program, right? And is like, doesn't know what to do. And then you just, what do we do with all of this, right? So there's this, I think we're at a crossroads of feminine sovereignty that we've never been at before. I'm even choking myself up. And and so like I feel like your book is so timely about talk to us about the courage to be brave, about doing things when we're in a super economic societal shift and people feel like they've lost their bearings, their foundation, the rules, the context is all dismantled, right?
Yes. I know. What a time, right?
What a time.
What time is this?
Is that an okay question?
It's a great question. And right, it can often feel like everything you know is falling away. And
Yeah.
you can't, dig into any of what you had trusted previously. And so cultivating this sense of resilience and safety and trust and surrender is really a practice. Like we have to be brave enough to believe in ourselves,
Yeah.
like more than anything else.
Ever. Yes.
Ever.
It's a
Like
requirement. Yes.
it is. And it's not easy because we're working against all these systems that are telling us we're not good enough. We're not, if you don't, you're not safe out there on your own in the world. You don't,
Yeah.
all
And then
these
you put labels on it like mental illness or diagnosis or PTSD or,
Right.
the more acceptable to the less acceptable. And then there's that whole thing, right?
Right. Like I will freely admit, right? I have anxiety, OCD, depression, panic disorder. I've had agoraphobia. Like, there's been moments in my life where, I lived in this very small little bubble.
Wow.
Because I couldn't trust myself. I couldn't trust what I was seeing. There was so much fear. And what you said, Julie, like, how do we keep moving forward in this time where everything is telling us we've got to shrink, we've got to step back, we got to be safe, we got to make sure all our ducks are in a row, and our ducks are like swimming in 10 different ponds.
And pedaling like motherfuckers under the water.
Exactly.
I know.
And so what can we rely on?
Yeah. What can we rely on?
What can we rely on? And having, being able to cultivate some different tools and strategies. And I know you do this with your own clients as well, right? There's a point at which we have to slow down, step back, like really be in our awareness of what's mine.
Yeah.
And what's, what are the messages I'm getting? What's mine here to do? What do I have control over?
Yeah.
Which, isn't very much out there in the world.
Yeah.
Not that we can't use our voices to make change.
Right.
That's different than trying to control something.
Yeah.
And so I think, first, just really being aware of when, fear is coming up, when, whether it's, scarcity because of money or,
exactly. Yeah.
Food, or are we going to have enough resources?
Yeah.
Or it's simply like, oh my gosh, I have to have enough energy to get to the grocery store. And how am I going to, manage to talk to this person, instead of hiding from them in the aisles, right? Yeah. Like runs the gamut, but having that awareness and then being able to decide.
Mm-hmm.
And that choice is where your power is. You get to decide what to do with that fear.
Yeah.
And you can allow it to be there. And, again, I know that it sounds very simple, and it is. And it took me years to understand that I could allow fear to just be there. There's a chapter in my book about, finally getting that, my therapist had been saying that to me over and over. And I'm like, I don't understand what that means. Yes. It's like my whole body's on fire. How can I let it be there?
Yeah.
But there are ways to cultivate that, and and where your power lies is in the choices you make, not in what the messages you receive, not what's
Yeah.
happening out in the world, not even how you feel. Our feelings are valid, and we get to make a choice from knowing
Yeah.
the bigger picture. Yeah.
I love that. It's such a good, I love this idea around befriending fear, if you will, because we are trained to sort of like, oh, get it off. It's like a bug, right? Like, get it off, move it away, like get rid of it. And there's so much scarcity right now. And scarcity comes with not just that there's not enough, but the unsafety of that. It comes like that becomes a really visceral fear. What would you say to someone, as we wrap up here around they're in a paralyzing fear. They have a fear present and they're paralyzed in whatever way that's out picturing or showing up for them. What would you advise them to do?
Get support.
Get support. Yeah.
We can be so wrapped up in our own worlds and our own minds, and our thinking is habitual, and
Yeah.
we can't get out of that paralysis
Yeah.
unless there, whether it's a therapist, a best friend, your coach, your mentor, somebody, right,
Yeah.
that you can, I mean, they even now have like, just text this number, right?
Yeah.
Even if there's that stranger on the other side, to just be able to take that step and hear another voice that can be present to what's happening with you,
Yeah.
then then the next step will become more clear for how to get up off the floor.
It's like I've been in that after my husband died. It was like a good 11 years of how fast my brain kept cycling and thinking because of the fear of I didn't even know what I was experiencing, right? And this book is so powerful in the things that I know that you've put in it because we spent some time together while you were writing it, right? About this befriending it, I think is such a brilliant idea. And this empowering people to step into their courage and their bravery, right? In the face of all these things, these labels, all this shedding of the systems that we're all feeling and all wanting to get away from, yet still have to live our lives, right? And seeing the atrocities we never thought we would see, and they continue. And so the fighting to fight the fighting to fight the fighting keeps going and going and going, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think you've really provided a solution for people to find and maintain their peace. And I think that's what the work of some of us is to do at this time. And it's a profound message.
Mm. Thank you so much, Julie.
What would you say in closing to the listener about reading your book?
Mm. Um, what would I say about reading my book? It's
It's
an adventure,
gorgeous.
right? So there's a lot of my story, but it's every chapter has some journal prompts at the end of it so that you can reflect on the lessons learned. So for me, it's my hope that the legwork and all the inner work I've done now for a couple of decades
Yeah.
saves you some time, some
Yeah.
time and energy, but also that hope that there is another way through this,
Yeah.
and it is really through. We can't avoid it. We can't circumvent it.
Mm. Yeah.
And so cultivate that bravery. I see the courage in you and the clients that you work with, and so many amazing women out there who are doing this work, and just to keep going.
Keep going. Yeah. Thank you for writing such a beautiful book, giving us a tool that we need. It sounds like that we can move through our fear with a lot more ease and accelerate our freedom. And I think that's what we need to do. So thank you, Renee, for coming on and giving us some incredible wisdom in a little short period of time. And we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. My pleasure. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you.